Dear students, so far you have come to know that in order to prove the prediction of the astrologers wrong and to prevent his death, the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram had set on his inhuman mission of killing tigers. He was able to kill 99 tigers, and his anxiety grew when he wanted to hunt and kill the 100th tiger. The reckless killing of tigers made Pratibandhapuram devoid of any tigers, and the tiger farms had now run dry even in his father in law's kingdom. It became impossible to locate tigers anywhere. The Maharaja was sunk in gloom. One day, in his own state, sheep began to disappear frequently from a hillside village. Surely, a tiger was at work. The villagers ran to inform the Maharaja. The Maharaja reduced the taxes, feeling happy that he would now be able to locate the tiger. But the tiger was not easily found. The Maharaja refused to leave the forest until the tiger was found. His anger and obstinacy rose higher. Many officers lost their job. One day the Tiger King was very angry. He called the Diwan and ordered him to double the land tax forthwith. The Diwan said that people would become discontented and their state too would fall prey to Indian National Congress. The king asked Diwan to resign. Diwan was so afraid of losing his job and life that he felt he should arrange the tiger from somewhere or the other. And he was able to arrange a very old, very frail tiger from People's Park at Madras. At midnight, the town was sleeping in peace. The Diwan and his aged wife dragged the old tiger to his car and shoved it into the seat. The Diwan himself drove the car straight to the forest where the Maharaja was hunting. Now the tiger refused to get out of the car. Somehow the Diwan hauled the beast out of the car and pushed it down to the ground. On the following day, the same old tiger wandered into the Maharaja's presence and stood there in humble supplication. It was with boundless joy the Maharaja took careful aim at the beast. The tiger fell in a crumbled heap. The Maharaja was happy that his vow to kill 100 tigers had been fulfilled. Ordering the tiger to be brought to the capital in grand procession, Maharaja left the forest. After the Maharaja left, the hunters went in to take a closer look at the tiger. The tiger rolled its eyes and looked back at them. The men realized that the tiger was not dead. The bullet had missed it. It had fainted from the shock of the bullet whizzing past. One of the hunters took aim from a distance of 1 foot and shot the tiger. And then the dead tiger was taken in a procession through the town and buried. Thinking that he had now killed the 100th tiger, Maharaja thought of paying attention to the state and to his family. A few days later, it was the 3rd birthday of his son. He wished to give him some special gift on his birthday. He spotted a wooden tiger in a toy shop and decided it was the perfect gift. The wooden tiger cost only 2 annas and a quarter, but the shopkeeper called it a bargain at 300 rupees. He praised it as an extremely rare example of craftsmanship. Actually, it had been carved by an unskilled carpenter. Its surface was rough. Tiny slivers of wood stood up like quills all over the wooden toy tiger. When the Maharaja was playing with his son, one of those slivers pierced the Maharaja's right hand, but he continued to play with the prince. The next day, infection flared in the Maharaja's right hand, and in 4 days it developed into a sore emitting pus. It spread all over his arm. Three famous surgeons were brought in from Madras. After holding a consultation, they decided to operate. The operation was successful, but the Maharaja died. Thus, ironically, the 100th tiger, that is, the wooden tiger, took its revenge on the Tiger King. The Tiger King story has a strong message for people in power to fulfill their primary duty of looking after the welfare of the people and not to indulge in unlawful and cruel acts in order to showcase their power. The author also strikes home the message that nature is the essence of our existence on earth. The cause of imbalance in nature is the careless attitude and ruthless destruction of fauna and flora by human beings. It is high time we understood the importance of preservation of nature for the sustenance of humans on this earth.